Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for making it to our weekly office meetings. Woohoo! Yeah. We are making this transition. We expect that it'll take a little bit of a time to catch up. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming out. And secondly, why we're doing weekly office meeting instead of monthly. The number one reason is to provide you with more value and you with more consistency. So we're going to be doing presentations each week. So the theme for this week is education and what we're doing for you education-wise and what you should be focusing on to make you more productive. Next week, we're actually going to be going through all the financials. So market center financials, how we're doing in the market, and TREB updates, and things like that. So every week we're going to have consistency, and through that we're hoping to achieve, so the repetitive nature of it, we're hoping to achieve a better understanding as well as better value added to you and your clients. Because if we keep repeating the same things over and over again, you'll become unconsciously competent and be able to roll things off your tongue that will make a difference to you and your clients. That's the hope for it. So thank you very much.
Unconsciously competent.
Yes. See, that's the idea.
Also, I'm just unconscious.
Yeah, unconscious competence. So again, this meeting is going to be really short and sweet, and then we have questions and Q&A after. And this is such an important meeting because Paige is joining us for the first time. And I want to make a public announcement that Paige did her second transmittal. And she aced it. Transmittal is a very stressful and really important financial time of the month, well, a few days of the month for us. So Paige was in here at 7 a.m. yesterday and finished it by 2, which was like amazing. So small success, big success.
Big success.
Big success.
Yeah. The numbers matched. It was great.
Yes. Okay, so big build up.
I don't
Like
help with
screen.
I don't do good with the
No,
technical.
I usually do fine.
So
I do
meeting's
fine.
over. That's what doesn't work.
Are you coming golf coalition?
I don't know. The power's fine.
At least I can talk.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to drink on a power cart for 5 hours. That's really all we're doing.
Maybe.
Okay, so technical difficulties, but we're all good. Okay, so happy birthdays. So this month we have Jackie Karen's birthday. We have Ivan Mamuzic, Jennifer Palacios, Trish Much, and Vlad Spiceri. And the little cupcakes muffins are for the celebration of the birthdays. Tell them they missed that on their own. Okay, so next we're going to say a thank you to everyone who participated at Red Day. It was a very successful event, and we're just hoping to make it bigger and better next time around. I think everybody enjoyed, doing a little bit of physical labor and being exposed to the street and our awesome people. I know I was like cheering and saying, 36 countries are doing this all over the world and things like that. So it was a great day. How did you feel about it? Who participated?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Fun.
nice to connect with the other store owners actually, because it's all small businesses around here. So everyone's
Yes.
very interested in talking to each other and, connecting. So that was really nice. And even just getting out with each other, obviously, because you always have a good time. You have good laughs, right? When
Yes.
you're doing it.
Yes. So I'm sure we contributed to the community with the cleanup effort, and thank you so much for everyone coming out. Okay, so our June calendar. Our June calendar looks fantastic. There are a few things I'd like to, hi Julie, that I'd like to highlight. So you're gonna see these posted everywhere. So today we have the multi-investor legalities with Daniel and David. They came to present about a few months ago, and they were really good. So hoping that everybody makes it out to see them, especially if you're working or thinking about working with multiple investors. We are away, a bunch of us are away on the 5th and the 6th at Quantum Leap. So thank you so much to Paige for getting all of that organized. We'll have a good presence, and Mo Anderson is always one.
About 250 people going.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, which is fantastic. And we're thinking, the sad part is we're thinking it's one of her last times that she's gonna be in Canada, but the happy part is that we get to see her, so looking forward to that.
Not everybody in here maybe even knows who Mo Anderson is.
Okay,
Like, you
That's a
might
good
not
point.
know, you might not know. Oh, sorry.
okay, so I'd be happy to tell you about
Let's
this.
talk about the KW culture.
Let's talk about the KW culture. So, Mo Anderson is the second biggest shareholder of our company after Gary Keller. She is also the heart behind our culture. So she came up with Red Day and giving back and actually living the culture that we preach, which is putting others before you, giving back to the community, and how does that look globally? Like, so Red Day is actually, I've heard that it's on her birthday, which is May 9th, but I actually also
It's in and
heard
around,
it's
yeah.
in and around, like I think her birthday is actually May 10th. So she's a really big part of our company. The company actually took off agent count-wise after she had joined Keller Williams,
Yeah, she was Gary's first hire,
Gary's first hire.
and she took over from Gary.
Yes, on a promise, not a guarantee that this company will thrive. And she was a really big part of that success. So she's a self-made woman. She came from nothing, she also wrote a book. She speaks everywhere. She was inducted in the Austin Hall of Fame along with Carrie Underwood. So they were sitting together and taking
We'll
pictures.
put those two in the same conversation.
We're contributing.
Superstars.
Yes, superstar. So that's really cool.
Cool.
Actually, the book is
good
quite
job.
good. For
Good
those-
job.
For somebody that read the book, it's a great book, A Tenant Farmer's Daughter.
That's right.
Yes, so that was one of her books. The
Yeah.
other one is I have actually in my office. It's about life. She talks about the 4 pillars of life, but that's not what the book is about. The book is about that, but it's called something else. She has a heart. She has a fake heart, like she has a heart something transplant, and then she did her hips, and then she says she has more energy than anyone in the room anyway. So she's culture. She's our culture.
She's 80-something,
She's 83.
83.
Yeah. So when my grandfather called complaining to me about, oh, I'm so old on my 80th birthday, I'm like, I just came back from from seeing a woman with a fake heart and fake hips, so you don't have anything to complain about.
With that.
Yes, juicing.
Okay, so the other things that we wanted to highlight in this.
The fact that there are no mountains at Bruce Lake.
No. Now you have to deliver mountains.
I know, apparently. I was like, that looks adorable, and it's really, that's the lake, but there's definitely no mountains.
Oh, good. We won't tell anyone.
For those of you thinking, there you go.
We'll take strategic selfies.
Exactly.
Okay, so our focus this month, and we'll get to a still technology and database. We're continuing with that. Supporting it though through 1-hour training sessions every Friday from 1:30 to 2:30, and James and I are alternating. We've got the Investor Agents Best Practices with Gary Wilson from 1:30 to 4:30. It's a bit of an investment in time, yet his credentials seem very valid, so we're looking forward to having him and helping you and your clients with financial success. Oh, sorry.
Oh, not the 21 ways of making more. deals, something like
Yes,
that.
21 alternative ways to lead generate. So, oh, no, it's alright. So that's a really good one, and we'll be sending out the information about it shortly. Basically, it's everything but door knocking and cold calling. So what else can you do besides door knocking and cold calling?
So big.
Yes, so it's going to be 21 ways. If you can just come out of one way to lead generate, that would be amazing. That could do things for your business. Then at the Growth Masterminds this month with 80, We will be also, they will be playing command
Yeah, it's a
material.
focus on command, so anyone's welcome to join. We're gonna spend an hour with our computers, working on command, and we'll have viewed one of James's videos first, and that's the one that we'll be working on at that session.
Correct, that's
Yeah.
awesome. London Learn, HST and new housing rebate. Super exciting. I think we've always had questions and we've had speakers that deal with the new condo construction, yet they've never been able to answer about HST. So this gentleman is coming to give you answers about the HST and new housing rebate program. Then accountability Zoom calls. Who knows what this is? No? No? Okay, great. We have had, do you remember on Mondays at 1:30, there used to be a live stream from KWRI? And it would be like a case study of a successful realtor, and then we'd have questions to follow up and discuss. So they've gotten rid of that. And so I thought, okay, how can I still keep connected with you guys in an accessible way, especially Mondays at 9:30 a.m.? So where we'll be going over the 4 conversations. So I think once we get a little bit more familiar with that, so the Zoom calls happen. I'm signed in every Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. And we had our newest addition, Tracy Park, join this Monday, which was really exciting. And I think that she came out of there having a really good plan of how she's going to get appointments and what to focus on this week in order to make the next week really good. So anyone, you receive this email first thing on Monday. If you want to start off your week with reviewing your conversations, how many appointments will you have this week? How many conversions are you planning to have? How many closings and all that? And if you have any trouble along the way, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to offer you advice, resources, anything that I can in order to make that week successful. And it's very accessible, right? Because it's over your computer. We just log into a Zoom call and we see each other. Sometimes I don't show my face because yesterday I was sick, but but it's great. Weekly office meeting in training room. It's going to be here because we're at the mountains on the 18th and 19th. And create 5 more deals now from your current database strategy. With Michael. Yeah, Bacha. The
So we
20.
did that specifically, and I'm hoping we can do more of this on the calendar, is to do the office meeting now, and then at 11 a.m. it goes straight into Mike, because trying to get, first of all, 5 deals from your database sounds like a heck of a good idea.
Yes.
Second of all, it means that people have a reason to come to the office meeting.
Correct.
Or come to his.
Great.
So hopefully we can do more of those instead of like the 10 a.m. and then 1:30, because.
That's what Norm said.
Yeah,
Yes.
Same page,
it's gonna be hard to.
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
But
Then
this
that's
one
what
is
we'll
that
do.
way. This one is timed that way.
Yes, which
So
is
the
perfect. And he's going to be great because Michael went over his
Yep.
whole presentation with Julie, and Julie put her stamp of approval. I was like, yes, you can present it to my agents. Okay, on the 20th, we have Rebel Photography headshots at 12. So we have the photographer coming in again. Last time, it's $95. Werner, can you attest to the success of the last time?
That's good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we can also bill you through your agent billing so that you can get a more of an updated, look to your marketing. And anyways, so if you even have friends who are looking to, their card looks a little outdated, just say, hey, it's not brokerage specific, but it's happening at our brokerage. Come and get your headshots for $95. You get 15 minutes, few headshots indoors, and then she could do a couple of outdoor shots with you so that you can update your marketing. So it's a great recruitment tool. And we've got the YKW night. So these are actually, this was a clerical mistake. These are actually switched over. So on the 20th, we have YKW night. So we ask you to bring your disappearing cat referrals.
So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about the disappearing cat. Apparently it was presented at the last office meeting. Can we flip to the disappearing cat? No, it's not next. Okay, that's fine, I'll just talk. So basically, the disappearing cat. So start the conversation, get people here. It's going to be really easy to get them here on the YKW night. Bring your friends. And so then we will take out 25% of your cap once they have signed and started to pay into Company Dollar. So you can bring your cap down to 0 for the year if you refer enough people, and that helps us grow and helps the company grow. And yeah, it's really good and it'll be really easy, and we want to, provide our culture and our education to as many agents as possible, and to help you build your business also, which I want to talk and just keep going with my scale here. So if we can go back to the first one, our profit tree. So I did transmittal yesterday, and our profit share for the month of May was 29.6. So we had like an amazing month.
Let's get a clap for Paige.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because Paige is responsible for getting all the checks into a brokerage and getting you paid and contributing to the profit share.
Thank you. So this was a great month because
And it was her first month.
Yes.
yeah, it's my
Yes.
first month.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I came in for May and kind of winged it. Got it done. It was my first day in the office, and we got it done. But this month was like much more substantial for the April closing. We winged it. For this one, it was good. And then I just did some quick calculations on the next slide to show you how this can benefit you and how it can tie into your disappearing cap. So if you are not only going to get the benefit of the disappearing cap by bringing in your referrals and not paying your cap, but
I'm so sorry. This
No,
is
it's
stuck
okay.
a little bit.
But also, I have them written down. So based on our company dollar, which was $117,093.28, I calculated the profit share factor to be 0.2528. So basically, that means that for every referral that you have here of a level 1 in your downline, so it's all about building your downline, getting your passive income, and building for retirement, then you would get $329.19 based on this.
The main profit share.
And then in your level 2 is everyone that's in your downline that then they bring in to recruit. You're going to get the 6588, and then it keeps going. I only went down to level 3 for you guys today for the 3291. So you can see very quickly how this would help your monthly income, and maybe a new car to get to all your appointments, for your retirement plan to put into your RSP. I hear a lot, because it's coming from the tax world, I hear a lot of people don't have money to put into their RSPs, or they've taken out on their new home buyer's plan, they can put it back. So this would help you to build your passive income and your retirement plan, or whatever you want to use it for. But it's all based on getting your referrals into the brokerage, getting them your names to Aresta, and so you will not only save your $22,000 in cap, but you will get this extra money every month.
So if I bring in 4 cappers in a year, then I don't pay a cap.
Then you don't pay the cap. Yeah, I think it is 4, maybe 5, the way the calculations work. And then you don't pay a cap for that year. So every year, theoretically, you cannot be paying cap, as well as you could be getting a payout. Yeah. So it's really like twofold for you guys, and it's really good. So, and then the more people we have in the brokerage, the higher these numbers are going to go.
Yes, because this is strictly based on main numbers. And just wanted to, why are we focusing on, well, this meeting is definitely focused on profit sharing and getting people into the brokerage, because we want to be able to share a culture with everyone. And it's easy as basically bringing somebody into an event. So photo session. If they want, I'm currently making phone calls, and I've already stated to the people in my database, okay, we're going to be doing database training on Mondays every 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Well, we'll be populating the database and making sure that you're doing it at high level. And we are doing it based on command, but if they have another, like iExact or whatever else, bring your computers, let's work on your database together, and that's just another way of us helping them in a way. And if they choose to come over in a couple of months' time, it's a great thing. So like completely easy sell, it doesn't have to be Aresta, here's the name, okay. But if you have a realtor friend who is struggling with their database, you say, hey, we have database training in this month, come and join me and sit with me, and I promise you won't get pounced on by anybody, but it will be a great value added to the business, because we always come from a place of contribution. Okay, so that's great. We went over that. Word on the street. Any new exciting things happening in your business? Who wants to share?
Who's making stuff happen?
I could be a tattletale and like tell on Circuit. No, I'm kidding. Come on, you guys have exciting stuff happening.
I've been going to Agent Open Housing, and that's been fun.
Awesome.
It took a little while, so it's been great to get back out there.
Yep.
I've got a new listing coming up next week in Stems.
Woohoo! Congrats.
And my listing last week sold over asking, which is nice.
That is awesome. Over asking.
I firmed my first deal.
I didn't ask you what, I asked you when it closed. I didn't realize that you firmed it. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And it was in negotiations, which is kind of cool in this day and age.
Yes.
Good.
I got it under asking.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Stellar customer service experience, right?
Oh, well, I hope so. We'll tell him that if he refers me to all of his lawyer friends.
Oh,
That's
oh,
what I
that's
want.
yours. That's awesome. Yes. You remember, ask for it.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
We have a great new listing coming out in Ronsi's next week, and it's going to be under $1 million, and it's a really nice 3-bedroom semi, finished basement. They've had a basement suite, and it's going to be hot stuff. So if anybody's got a entry-level buyer there, it's great.
Awesome.
Very, very nice. Like really nice. It's cool, modern looking. It's like for clients.
Anyone else working with very specific clients? Yeah,
Yeah.
I will have to talk about how to do this, but I got a client yesterday who wants to sell in Fort York.
Nice.
So good investment property, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And I'm sure it's going to be coming out next month. Yes.
I wanted to just fill the bucket, which I know it's word of the street right now, but I wanted to give kudos to David. He did a session a couple weeks ago on investing in investment properties or like around working with investors. And I was not here for it, but the feedback was like amazing from it. Everyone was really wowed and couldn't believe the amount of knowledge that you had. And we're super, super impressed with that session. So I
Yes.
just want to say thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. That was a lot of value added at that time.
Yeah.
Was not aware that you were an appraiser for X amount of years, so.
Lots we don't know about David.
Yes.
So if you missed it, if you want to talk to David separately about it, I'm going to do
We'll put it
that.
back
I
on the
recommend
calendar
it.
is the point, yes.
Are we videoing these or not?
Yes.
Yes,
that-
I believe that we have the video of it. I'll double check, but yes,
If it's
like we have the video.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone
And we might
wants,
want to make that aware for people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
On our
Facebook group.
It's not
But not everybody goes on Facebook, our Facebook group.
I think the videos are, I think the videos are linked to a YouTube channel. Yeah.
if anyone wants to talk about their like personal business, financials, just let me know. We can set an appointment. We can help you with that. Or taxes. I've been answering a lot of tax questions.
That's good.
Can we agree that those numbers that we just saw, like with the profit share for May, are really relevant and like
Mhm.
we can see how we can make that
Yes.
work?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's got a brain on her. She's amazing. Thank you. Okay, any other questions, concerns, comments?
What's the plan with the calendar this month? We're not changing it. Like, what did you suggest, Norm, about moving?
When I noticed today we had a session this afternoon, and this session this morning, I thought that might be a little bit tough for people to attend.
Well, that's what I was wondering. If we have office meetings coming up, do we want to change them or, like, what does the group think?
Well, the group, just
Not you, Norm, I'm asking other people.
Yeah.
I want other people's input here, because I'm one of the
Mm-hmm.
people who organizes the calendar, and I'm always looking for input, and what we say might not be relevant to people, so we're interested in your guys' input.
I like the idea of either dedicating a morning or an afternoon, but not necessarily splitting. So I support your.
Are you comfortable moving it mid-month, like as of now, we could move next week's thing, for example?
I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't catch
If you go back to the calendar,
Yeah, I heard.
when's next week's office meeting?
10.
Yep, 10.
Or what day?
And Tuesday,
Tuesday.
the
Give me
11th.
some time to know.
And the 21 alternative ways to lead generate with Ryan Smith is at 1:30.
So that's
we want
why,
to move
That's
the,
To move Ryan Smith to 11 a.m., you're saying?
We can't, that's his lead gen time.
you know, I understand.
But
So
we can move
can we move our office meeting?
Sure. Oh, I didn't present on this. Okay. One last point, as far as command goes. Oh, and so the golf
Dude, we
tournament.
didn't finish this
I'm so
conversation.
sorry.
Yes, we're moving the meeting to what time?
Before or after?
Before?
So if that's at 1:30, would we do it at noon? So 12 to 1, and then the next session starts at 1:30? Or maybe we do 12:30 to 1:15, and then the next session starts? Maybe that's a good
Yep,
one.
12:30.
And then the same 17th is okay, but what about the next week?
Well, can I just also just throw in another, since we're talking about this, I'll give. In the whole, we've talked about the culture of Keller Williams, and the culture of Keller Williams is that between 9 and 11 you're lead generating. I know we talked about this, you might be like ready to stick a screwdriver. in me,
No.
but, that being said, are we better off to then just always have a 12:30 weekly meeting and a 1?
Well, this
30.
morning, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, because the mornings are, usually a lot of us have our morning routine kind of lead gen,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blahs, agent open houses, all that kind of stuff. And then the afternoons are more.
So
the
we're
meeting
used to
stuff.
training at 1:30 basically, right? We're used to having our sessions then.
Yeah.
Let's hold the office meeting at 12:30 as a 45-minute session just before the 1:30. And your morning stays open for your lead gen.
You're totally screwing with my naps.
Your naps.
So did the ALC have a discussion on this?
Yes, we did, yes.
And then, you know, because often meetings are mornings and you're supposed to be like all pumped up after the meeting to go, go, go. It's just,
yeah.
we want to just, I mean, this is new, our new weekly meeting, and I love the idea, and hopefully we'll get more attendance as things go. It's just, we want to get, figure out the best way to get attendance.
And that keeps the commitment to isolating either a morning or an afternoon
Yeah.
instead of dividing
Mhm.
time, right? So we
Mhm.
can-
And better attendance, we have speakers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, is to try and get more attendance even for the speakers.
So 12:30 to 1:15 on Tuesdays, and then on Tuesdays there'll be a 1:30 session.
Great.
And then the 20th and the 27th are
Democracy
changed.
decided. I'm.
Yeah. All for, all aye.
I.
Second.
But yeah.
And then the 27th and the 20th are reversed, is that right?
Yes,
Yes.
they are. Yes.
And we didn't really talk about what's now on the 27th.
It's just reversed. Career new agent.
So new agents, so if you know
So-
anyone that's thinking about getting into real estate or just finished their courses.
So,
What is the
so
YKW?
which day do we go?
I
Which
know
day
you said
is
it.
that? The 27th?
So no, bring your referrals on the 20th.
On the 20th. So Anna would be on the 20th.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then what about the KW career night, who do you bring then?
So people that are thinking about getting into real estate.
So just out of school.
Or out of school.
Yes, out of school, and it's just everything is.
Or like an admin person that you know that's worked in the business for a long time, that would be like a great realtor, that concept.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Someone who's halfway through their courses, she
Yeah.
attends.
Perfect, yes,
Anyone.
yes.
Even Angelica asked me last night, the front desk, and she said, oh, my friend is thinking about it. And I said, great, tell her
Yeah.
to come in and we'll,
Anybody's on the first, second, third course,
Whatever.
in school, yeah.
yeah, and any ways that we can help to support them.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
Yeah. Okay, and I had also, so with it's, with our focus on command every Friday at 1:30, we're just to find support and resources. So when I have actually examples of these. So here, KW Connect Tech-Enabled Agent, there are a bunch of resources in command actually. There's on the top right-hand corner, there's a link which is a command videos. So it's from the pros, it's from labs at KWRI. So you can find a bunch of videos of how to do whatever you want with your database in command. And then Scott Leroy Marketing, this is a subscription that we pay for as a brokerage. And he has a ton of 6-minute, 10-minute, 2-minute videos, whatever you can do that day, watch it, do it as he says, and in order to build your database.
Yeah, and I highly recommend coming to the Wednesday sessions. It's every 2 weeks, every second week on the Wednesday at 1:30, where we're gonna be doing this together, and we're all green at Concept, right? So it'll be a working session. Yeah.
And for July, we're actually going to try and stick a couple in June, but in July, we're going to start having masterminds with EAs. So if anyone has EAs, I reached out to a few that I know of, but even if you have someone that, like Aressa said, is in real estate, if they want to bring their EA, great, we'll have great conversations. That's also like a selling thing for referrals. I will send you out the days when we get that. I'm just waiting on a couple people to respond to me, and then we'll get that out so that we can have great talks about how to streamline office processes, financials, and how the EAs can help support you in your business.
Right.
Awesome.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much to everyone for coming out. We absolutely love you.
Short and sweet.
Yeah,